I'm a software engineer by trade. No, not a professional athlete. No, I don't get paid to do these YouTube videos. Although I'm working on that. You guys hit subscribe and hit like. Um, and I also invest in real estate. So once my engineering, my software company started doing well, I started investing in real estate and I started buying up real estate.
One, two, testing, one, two.
Justified buying.
One, two, what is up? Let me get my chat together. What's good? What's good? We're live. Type something in the chat so I know you're here. What's up, bro? I'm gonna finally answer your question, Jermaine Robinson. Sorry it's taking me so long to answer. Oh, what's this, bro? Yeah, sorry it's taking me so long to answer your question, bro. Been doing a million things and it's been super busy. Yeah, what's good, Bent Remy? What's good? So we could talk about it now, man. We could have like conversation about it now, and I can answer the question thoroughly. Mr. Martin, what's good? Ralph Thornton, what's good? Appreciate you guys that are on both channels. The real estate stuff I had to break out separately because it was confusing YouTube and the YouTube algorithms. It was confusing. YouTube tries to figure out who your audience is and what they like, and then they, oi to the bone, todo ultimo. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm tries to figure out who your audience is, and the algorithm would get confused because I would post content that was mostly car related, but then I would post content that's real estate and entrepreneurship related, and YouTube would just get confused and not know who to promote my videos to, because the audience to their perspective are two different audiences. So I split the channel up, and now Will Motivation, that channel with more of the car content, is actually doing better. When I post videos, they're more consistent. So anyway, Chino Cherry, what's up, man? And good to see you too. Dante Cams, what's good? So I'm gonna answer some questions. What's up, patience? I'm gonna answer some questions today. I know it's not gonna be a whole bunch of people in here because I'm live streaming from my smaller channel, but this will give us a chance for me a chance to answer your questions. So the first questions that I have to answer are from Jermaine Robinson. Jermaine, do you remember what the questions were? Because I have the email that you sent me right here, but I don't know if you want to paraphrase it again, or if you've had even more time to think about the question. If you want to repost the question, and then we can start talking about it, or I can do it. You let me know, Jermaine. Welcome to everybody that's in the live. Ruben Gregory, Dante Cams, Patience, Wanamaker, Chino Cherry, Johnny Cha-ching, Bent Remy, Mr. Martin, Ralph Thornton, Jermaine Robinson. Jermaine, where you at? Hit me with that question, bro. We'll start with that, and then anybody else that might have any questions related to investing in real estate, related to my real estate investment course, we can get right into it. All right, and hit the thumbs up too. We got 17 people in here. Yeah, I need to see. Come on, man, 17 thumbs up. It's not that hard. All I got to just press thumbs up right there in the video. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up, please. That way more people can get this knowledge. What up, Adam? What's good? All right, so Jermaine Robinson's question, I'm gonna try to paraphrase it. because he sent me an email, and it was like a two-part question. And the question revolved around taking a pre-licensure, like real estate licensure course before being an investor. So, like, what are the qualifications that you need in order to invest in real estate? Do you have to have a real estate license to be able to invest in real estate? Do you have to be an agent or anything like that? Like, what's the requirements? And honestly, no, you don't have to have any license. You don't have to have any preparatory coursework or anything, because anybody can buy real estate in the United States. Even foreign citizens can buy real estate in the United States. So no, you don't need any kind of license in order to become an investor. I do not have any kind of license, nor do I feel like I need a license. Sometimes investors will get a real estate agent's license to be able to list their own properties or to represent themselves in the purchase of properties. And that way it reduces the commission that they have to pay, because they're their own realtor. For me personally, I don't have a desire to get that kind of a license for myself or for other people. So you do not need that license. But now, if you did want to get the license and that was something of interest to you, all right, Jermaine, have you heard what I said so far? Let me turn my fan on. It's getting hot. It's getting hot here in Columbus. Jermaine, did you hear what I said so far? So you don't. So the short answer, yeah, I got the questions, Jermaine. I got them. I started answering the question already. So basically, you don't need a real estate license to start investing in real estate. And you also asked if I was thinking about getting my own license. I'm not thinking about doing that because I don't want to represent anybody else, and I don't mind paying like the commission for a good agent to represent me. It's not that big of a deal. Everything always gets built into my calculations, like paying commissions and stuff like that. So, and it's a trade-off, like time versus money. Do I really want to become a realtor and keep up with the other thing? If you get a real estate license, you got to keep up with it. Like, you got to take continuing education and stuff like that. So, to the short answer for everybody, like, do you need any kind of license or coursework to become an investor? No, you don't. You don't even have to be a United States citizen to buy real estate in this country. So you don't need that. But with that being said, you want to know what you're doing when you're investing in real estate. Like, before I started buying a whole bunch of property, I bought a bunch of books, and I also bought a bunch of audio tapes, and I studied going online on the internet. And I spent some money educating myself on how to invest in real estate. And you guys asked me to create an online course teaching what I know, and I did that. So, and pretty much all my videos on this channel, I have a link to my online course. I'm happy to answer any questions about the content in the course, but I basically lay out everything I know. I even lay out my portfolio on the course, so you can actually see every single deal that I've ever done since I started investing in real estate. You can see how much money I had to invest. You can see how much money I made. You can see how much money I even owe, to see what a real portfolio looks like to a millionaire real estate investor, and how possible it is. And I even show, like, to what point I became a millionaire with my real estate. So you can see all of that. It's very realistic. Before I started investing in real estate, I had probably $300,000 cash, and I had 3 properties at the time, and those properties I didn't have that much equity. I probably had less than $150,000 in equity in those properties. So I was not a millionaire when I started investing in real estate. I started investing, and I put all the money I was making, I was buying real estate. and now that real estate has probably is worth 10 times at least what I originally had. So yeah, that's just what I put in the course, and you guys can see it unfold. And I explain everything that I had to learn in the course. So back to Jermaine's question about what you need in order to be able to invest in real estate. You don't need a license. I do recommend that you study successful examples of real estate investors and learn all of the different numbers that you need to know so that you don't lose money if you're trying to do flips. So that you don't lose money or make bad calculations when you're trying to have a really strong rental property portfolio. You got to know your numbers. So for me, I already was a businessman. I already was an entrepreneur. I already know how to make a profit running a business. So getting into real estate and knowing the numbers for me was easy. But it might not be that easy for everybody. So what I did is in my course, I put in spreadsheets that I use and just all of like the tricks of the trade. So if you're interested in that, we could talk about it. But I want to make sure I answer Jermaine's question first. So Jermaine, if you got follow-up questions related to this, so one of the things you asked me was, do I think it would be worthwhile to get a realtor's license or take the pre-licensure course? It depends on how much time and money that's going to take you to achieve what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to become a successful real estate investor and own some properties, like I don't know how much time that pre-licensure course would take you and how much money it would cost you, but I haven't done any of that, and I've done fine, and I'm very comfortable with my knowledge about investing in real estate and evaluating deals and that kind of thing. Now, I think the hardest thing to learn and what's really important nowadays is knowing how to find good deals and being able to grind to find good deals. So I don't know if they teach you that kind of thing in a pre-licensure course, but that's geared more towards becoming an agent as opposed to becoming an investor, and that's two different things. So my vote for me personally, I wouldn't do it. But if you have time, money, and desire to become an agent, then you probably should do it. And then I think the second part was you asked if I was interested in doing it. I'm not interested in doing it. And then you were interested in taking my course. Let's see. Does my course offer a better foundation versus the pre-licensure course? So I don't know enough about that pre-licensure course, but I know it's going to give you a foundation to be an investor. Like I'm going to give you in my course, what it gives you is enough information at a high level for you to have confidence going after real estate and evaluating real estate to be able to pull the trigger and knowing everything that's going to be involved in you turning that real estate around to make money with it. That's what my course is going to give you. Like if you look at the maybe before the end of this live stream, I'll go over like what's in the course. But if you look at it, it's thorough. Like it's thorough. It's not like a 5-minute course. It's like everything I know about investing in real estate, literally. And then let's see. Let me know if you got any follow-up questions on that, Jermaine. And yeah, $600, my course right now you can take for $297. Normally it's $495, but it's 40% off for the first 50 students, and I think we got about 40 students right now. And that's legit. I need to shout out all of my students so far. So far, everybody says they like the course. And see, here's the thing about the course too. Like you buy a book, like a lot of people are asking me, okay, you could buy a book for $20, right? And you can learn about investing in real estate. That's what I did. I paid my $20. I probably ended up spending more than $20. I probably spent close to $200 to $300 on books and stuff. But the difference between my online course and a book is if you're reading a book and you got a question about the content in the book, who are you going to go ask? Like, who's the teacher for the book? Who are you going to ask a question to about the content? Nobody, right? The publisher's not going to answer your questions about the content in the book. But if you buy a course, I'm the teacher of the course. So people that, if you look for anybody that's in my course now or that buys my course, you'll see when anybody asks a question, I answer it 100% of the time. If you ask a question, 100% you're going to get an answer related to what's in my course. Period. That's what it is. And that's the advantage of getting in early too. So that's the thing. Like people ask me about books. There's some good books, and you can teach yourself because that's what I did. But if you want the experience of a mentor, somebody that's done it, and I have created the content and it's video, so you don't have to sit there and read it over and over again and take notes over and over again. You can just watch it whenever you want. That's the pitch, man. That's why I like the online course. That's why I did it, for anybody that learns well from that kind of scenario. So there you go. There you go, Jermaine, man. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you got any other questions in the comments, and I'm gonna start reading off some of the questions that are in here now. This is our Friday evening mentoring session related to investing in real estate with your boy Will Motivation. And of course, I invite anybody to take my online course because it's discounted right now, and I think it's an awesome course. So let's see. Let me look at some of these questions that have come in through the live stream so far. Somebody asked me how much is the course. Normally it's $495, but it's 40% off for the first 50 students. Right now we probably got about 39, 40 students, and it's discounted. So the price ends up being $297, and you have access to the course forever. So you don't have to like keep paying $297. You pay it one time, and then as you take the course, the value is, if you don't understand something in a lesson that I teach, you just type in a question, and I'm gonna get a text message on my phone saying you just got a question from a student, and then I'm gonna go in there as soon as I get a minute, and then I'm gonna answer your question. And then you got me around when you're ready to start evaluating deals. As long as you go through the course content, and I can see that, and then you can ask questions, and I'm gonna answer them, and I'll help you out, like guide you through your first deal and that kind of thing. So that's the answer. The course right now is $297 with a discount. Normally it's $495. So somebody asked me, Chino Cherry said, I have a question. Do you have certain criteria when it comes to buying residential property? Do you only buy 2 or 3 bedrooms or more? How many rental properties do you have right? How many rental properties do I have right now is the easiest question. I got 20. Got 20 properties right now. And the average rent is probably about $1,200 a month. So do the math. You can do the math and see how much I gross every month. Do I only buy 2 or 3 bedrooms or more? No. I look at real estate as a deal if the numbers work out. So what I do is I look at the cost of the property. I put that in my spreadsheet. Then how much can I get the property for? Like if I negotiate it down or make a bid on it, like what's my actual cost going to be? Then number 3, how much is that property really worth compared to other properties that are similar to it in that neighborhood or in that zip code? And then does it look like a good deal? And it could be a 1-bedroom. I'm gonna look at other 1-bedrooms. If it's a 2-bedroom, I'm gonna look at other 2-bedrooms. If it's a 3-bedroom, you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna evaluate that property based on the other similar properties in the area. But no, I never bought a 1-bedroom before, but I bought 2 bedrooms before. I got right now 3 2-bedroom properties, and they rent out just fine. I have most of my properties are 3 bedrooms, and I got a few 4 bedrooms. They all rent out fast where I'm at. So I would buy 1-bedroom, but like when I had the opportunity to buy 1-bedroom apartments that were coming up and condos that were coming up, the only reason I didn't buy those 1-bedrooms is because there was 2 bedrooms that I could get as well, and I knew more people would want a 2 or a 3 as opposed to a 1. So if I have my choice, I'm going for the one that's most desirable, and that's the reason why I didn't get the 1. But if that was the only thing available and it was cheap, and I mean like I could get a good deal for it, I would buy it and rent it or flip it. But I always do the numbers. When I look at a property, I always do the calculations on profit for a rental scenario And I also always do the numbers to evaluate the profit on a flip scenario. So that's the important thing. All right, so let's see what else we got. Jay Brown said he was watching an auto vlog Will motivation video collab and had to jump over. My man, Jay Brown, I appreciate it. Yeah, auto vlog. If you haven't seen on my channel and on his channel, we just did a little collaboration. I let him test drive the GT3, and he brought the Hellcat back to get his Ferrari, and his Ferrari wasn't ready yet, had another little issue pop up. So I let him keep the Hellcat a little bit longer until his Ferrari is done. And it's been a really good collaboration because not only was I able to help a friend out, but he also helped me out because a lot of his subscribers have been coming over to my channel. So shout out to Autovlog. And so somebody asked me, can you make good money obtaining probate real estate? Dante Cams. Man, it doesn't matter what kind of real estate it is. You can probably make good money with it if it's a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. I don't care where it comes from. It could be a bank-owned REO. It could be a probate. It could be an auction at the sheriff's auction. It could be a for sale by owner. It doesn't matter as long as if you see what the price is or you bid on something and get a good deal compared to what you can sell it for or what the value is going to be. It doesn't matter where it comes from, probate or whatever. Now, if you're asking me like, does the probate real estate, does it have like good prices? I have never bought from probate, but my guess is it's potentially, if there's not too much competition, then you can probably get a deal. The problem is in any of the scenarios, if there's too much competition, it drives the prices up. So that's what you got to stay away from. But if it's low competition, you could probably get a good deal. But I don't have personal experience buying from probate court to know like most of the time it's good deals or not. So you just have to like dig into it and either go and see or ask somebody who does that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know anybody that really does that. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have that much knowledge on that. All right, so next question. Mr. Martin said, can you do your business virtually? Yeah, yes, I can. I do have an office though. I do have an office and I need my office for a couple of reasons because I got employees. I got a number of employees and I also have clients that from time to time visit me in my office. That happens less and less these days. So they're not coming to my office as much, but I still got employees and they need a place to work from. So, but I don't have to be there. Like I work from home a lot. And then my meetings and when I'm doing events and stuff for my different business, I'm out in the field. Like I'm out in different parts of the country doing work. So the short answer is, yeah, I can do it virtually. But I do have an office and I use it. Like I go there, I got it's like a regular office. All right. So, Ben Remy said, do I do any long distance real estate moves or are your properties local? All of my properties, all of my properties except for one is local. Excuse me, I got one property in the Dominican Republic for my kids, and but it's not really a rental. There's family members staying in it right now. Um, I'm thinking about getting some property in Florida, but I want the market to be. I want to get deals. Like I'm not going to be competing with consumers to get an investment property. So I got to find the right situation. I got to go investigate Florida. Like I'm not a blind investor. Like I'm not going to just go invest someplace that looks good and sounds good on paper. I got to go put my feet down and get a gut feeling because I follow my gut when it comes to business. When you have all the numbers worked out, what does your gut say? So I want to go and see the different locations in Florida to figure out where exactly I want to invest. So I will probably buy some real estate out of state, but I want the price to be right. So I'm looking at the timing of the market and that kind of thing. All right, so all right, let's see what we got. Ben Remy makes a good point. He said, "I can guarantee the course will make you more money than it costs." Right. So like the way I price the course is like I didn't want to make it too cheap because people won't value it. Like if it's $10, like people will buy it and they won't even take it. You know, they won't even take it seriously. Even if you make it $100, you know, then I don't want to water myself down. Like if I got too many people in the course, then that provides less value to everybody because I can't answer everybody's questions and that kind of thing. So I want to price it right where I could get steady students coming in that take it seriously, so that they're not wasting their time and money and not wasting my time either as a teacher trying to help. So that's the price point. And the other thing is, yeah, you'll either make more money, way more money than what the course costs, or you'll save way more money than what the course costs. Pretty simple, because you're gonna learn how to evaluate a deal. So that can save you thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even more than that. Because if you go into a bad deal, man, that could change your whole life. But you go into a good deal, and that could change your whole life too. And it's happened to me time and time again. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all of the property that I bought except for one or two before I started investing. I bought a couple of properties, but all of the investment properties that I bought are like double or more what I paid for them because I bought them right. All right, so let's see. Adam Larkin said, "How do you feel about Section 8 investments? I have one property investment on Section 8 currently, still learning as I go." Section 8, like I don't have any Section 8 because my strategy was to go after middle class, or upper middle class, and that would be my brand, like to provide the nicest properties to rent out in that particular middle class market. That's my strategy because I figured those will be the people that can afford to pay rent because they want a little bit nicer rental property. So that's what I was going after. So it wasn't really a fit with Section 8. So I don't have any experience with Section 8, but I have friends that have Section 8 properties and stuff. And it's been, I've heard good and bad. I've heard good and bad. And I think, it's all work. No matter however you do it, as long as you're willing to put in the work, you can make money however, Section 8 included. Some people really love Section 8, because you get your money is pretty much guaranteed from the government. It's just a matter of keeping your property together for the tenant, so that's how I feel about Section 8. I've never done it, but I've heard good and bad with it. Jermaine Robinson said the new name of the course should be Wisdom or Enlightenment. Wisdom and knowledge are needed for building wealth. I'm leaning towards madness, man. Madness. Somebody said madness for the name of the car, and I like that a lot because sometimes sometimes I do certain stuff that I consider myself crazy for doing it, but crazy in a good way, and it's almost like the mad scientist type of thing. And somebody said madness, and it's just like an easy. I could say that over and over again and not get tired of it for the name of the car. So I'm leaning towards that, but I like the theme of knowledge and something else that it takes to be successful. But sometimes it does take a little bit of crazy for people to think that you're crazy to be like crazy like a fox. And like a lot of the moves that I make they look crazy to other people, but they're really me calculating the move out of like my little evil genius type stuff. So like for example, somebody would say it's madness for me to lend my $70,000 Hellcat to a dude that I've never met before off the internet. That's madness, right? But for me, it's not madness at all. It's me, like, for one, goodwill. I'm helping another YouTuber out. But for two, from a business perspective, it's a calculated risk. It's a calculated risk. It's rolling the dice, hoping that something good comes out of it on a lot of different angles, and that's exactly what happened. Madness, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I like that a lot. I'm liking that one a lot. But I do like the wisdom, knowledge, and wisdom. I don't really consider myself. I'm wise, you know what I'm saying. But when I think wisdom and wise, I think of my dad. You know, he's older and he's got all this wisdom to share. Like, but it's almost like you're retired and then you get the wisdom out. So I kind of like, for me, I feel like I'm still kind of in the game, and I still feel like I'm rolling the dice and I'm gambling. That's why I kind of like that madness, you know. Um, but I also like passion. Somebody said knowledge and passion, and there's a lot of passion in the building my businesses. A lot in the real estate business, in my software business, in my website, all of that. It took a lot of passion. So we'll see, man. But y'all got the inside scoop. I'm leaning towards madness. I'm leaning heavily towards madness. But anyway, let me go to the next question. Chino Cherry said, "What do I think about HELOC, and have I done a HELOC in the past?" So HELOC is a home equity line of credit. Home equity line of credit. So what that is if you own a property and you got equity in that property, you can go to a bank and they can lend you money by putting another lien or loan on your property by giving you a line of credit. So like, for example, I have a HELOC on my current house that I'm in right now. My house is worth 520,000, somewhere around that, maybe a little more. And my loan was for 270. So I had a lot of equity. I had like over $200,000 in equity, and I got a HELOC, or a home equity line of credit, for $100,000 from a bank. So I can use that line, that HELOC. I can use it for whatever I want. So I buy cars with it. I bought my cars, and then I sell the car, and then I pay off the HELOC. Or I might buy. I could write a check for a down payment on a property, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm using equity out of my house. So I like the HELOC. Now the only thing you got to be careful of, I got a HELOC or a home equity line of credit on one of my rental properties, and it's almost maxed out because I was using that money to pay for Project Huracan, which is my new build. Okay, it's almost maxed out. It's a $120,000 line of credit on another property, right? The problem with it, though, is when you hold too much money out on a home equity line of credit, the interest rate is higher than a standard mortgage. And a lot of times you're only paying, if you make the minimum payment, that's only interest. So your balance never decreases until you start physically paying off that balance. So I have one property that got a $120,000 line of credit maxed out, because I used the money to build a new house, and I probably should pay it off because I'm paying like $500 a month in interest, which is a lot. So, but I'm aware of it. Like, if I didn't know what I was doing, it would be a really bad thing. If you didn't realize you're only paying interest, or you didn't realize, like, you don't have a plan for how you're going to get the money and pay it off, then it could be a problem. So you just gotta know what you're doing. You understand what it is and how to use it. It's not really a problem. So I buy stuff, like, I don't buy frivolous stuff. I buy stuff that I can sell later or I can make money with. Like my cars, if I buy a car with my home equity line of credit, I can sell that car and then pay off whatever that money was that I used. You know what I'm saying? Or if I buy a property, then I can sell the property and make money, or I can rent the property out and then start paying it off faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be honest with you, I could pay it off at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, through other income and money that I have through other businesses. So I consider myself using it responsibly because I can manage to pay it whenever I need to. So, but you got to be careful. That's my thing on a home equity line of credit. But you can leverage it. You got a plan, but I wouldn't just get one and just spend the money on stupid stuff, and then you have no way to pay it back. All right. Let's see. Jason Jackson said, "I'm working a 9 to 5, starting out with really no money. What's the best way to get into real estate in my situation?" Jason Jackson, I would say the best way to get into real estate, if you're working 9 to 5 and you don't have any money saved up at the current point in time, you gotta, if you're not making enough money right now to save any money, then you gotta create more income. And that means 9 to 5, you make that money, and instead of having free time to spend more money, fill that time up with another money making activity like another job or another passion project that will make you money. That's what you got to do, man. You got to work now. I don't know how old you are, but if you're young, man, you gotta take your time and start working to make more money so that you can save and then buy your first house. Even if you live there, that can be an investment. Like my first house that I bought, I still have it and it's rented out and it's making about $800 a month in profit right now every month. So you could do that. You could buy your first house, you could live in it, keep working and making as much money as you can with your time, and then let it grow in equity. And also you're paying down the mortgage. And then when you're ready to get your next house, rent that house out. Or get a duplex, right? Get a duplex or multi-unit, and the price is usually about the same cost as a regular house. And then you live in one side and rent the other side out, and then you start getting ahead. But you got to start looking. But man, the number one thing I could, like, when people say they got a job but they don't make enough money, you got to get a better job, learn some skills to get a better job that pays more money, or work more, like overtime, get another job, second job, or start a business where you're making some extra money. That's exactly what I did. Like nobody gave me any money. When my dad died, he didn't leave any money, zero, no car, nothing. My mom was a teacher making $35,000 a year. I made more money than her when I graduated from college. I made a little bit more money than that when I graduated. So I wasn't getting no money from no parents or nothing like that. So I got my first job out of college. I started working hard to get raises, and I always had some kind of side hustle going on. I always was planning and plotting and scheming on a side business because I knew there's no limits on when you start your own business. You have no limit on your salary, like how much money you can make. You're only limited by your own work ethic and your own ideas. So for me, that's no limit. So if I can do it, you can do it too, man. I was working 9 to 5, and I wouldn't say I saved a few $100s a month, you know what I'm saying, but not that much. It wasn't until I started a side business that actually started making a little bit of money that I actually did start being able to save. And then I quit my job to run the side business, and I blew the side business up. And then I really was able to save some money, and then I started getting into real estate. But it took me a long time. Like it wasn't like an overnight thing. I worked my 9 to 5 from 1995 to 2005, 10 years to 2004. So I put in 9 years of 9 to 5 in it. Then I quit the 9 to 5. And then from 2004 to 2010, I was grinding on my business. And then in 2010, that's when I started investing in real estate. So you see how many years it took me, man, but it didn't matter. Like I knew I knew I had to get it. Like I knew I was not going to quit until I got what I wanted. So you got to have that kind of mentality. You can't focus so much on your current situation. You need to be focusing on the future, or what your situation is going to look like in the future by what you're going to be doing, learning stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like learning and constantly trying to hustle something on the side. All right. So that's the answer to your question, bro. Dwayne Penling said, in the case you are located in a location where selling prices are very high and cash flow is limited, does it make sense to get into the game? Dwayne Pendleton, in that kind of scenario, if it was me, I would be looking to do flips. I wouldn't be looking, if the cash flow is low, I'm not doing that. Like my cash flow has to be good in order for me to do a rental. So I would be looking to do flips in that kind of a market. Or like I always said, if I lived in California, I would be looking at Las Vegas, somewhere in driving distance. like Las Vegas to buy real estate there because it's a lot cheaper. Like Las Vegas they got real estate at all different price levels. If you're in New York, you'd probably be looking at like, I don't know, Delaware or Jersey or, going south west from New York and looking at property in different places. But I mean, there's people I know New Yorkers that have property in Virginia and all over the place. So you just got to be, it's the price. Like you choose to stay in New York or a high market like that, if you choose to stay there, then it's going to be a little bit harder to invest. You might just have to invest somewhere else. But you can do it. Like people are doing it all the time. People are doing it all the time. See what I'm saying? Like I'm fortunate though where I live. I'm in one of the best markets. It wasn't always like this, but I'm in one of the best markets in the country. And I'm blessed, I have to say. But it wasn't always like that. Like the prices here are still lower than a lot of places, but it's going up. You know what I'm saying? And the economy is good here. All right. So Johnny Cha-Ching said last year I purchased a three-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom for $120,000 in a growing area, planning to convert it into a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. How's that process with permits? Or should I try to hire a contractor and do it as owner builder? So the legal answer to that question is, yeah, you got to get permits, and you need licensed contractors for some of the work, but not all of the work. But I mean, if you're just are you trying to rent it out or are you trying to flip it? If you're trying to flip it, you definitely need to get the permits so that you can list your house as a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom or whatever. If you're trying to rent it, you might not have to do anything, but just go ahead and do it and rent it out how it, with whatever your modifications are to it. I've done that before just out of ignorance, but I had zero problems. Everything was done right to code. And I didn't get no permits. I even did some major work on my house and my neighbors shut me down. They snitched on me. Let me keep it real, man. I try to do stuff without permits because I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just keep it real. I'm from a hood where ain't nobody coming out there to even check for no permits. So I had to learn about all that stuff. So the proper way to do stuff is to get your permits. Like I had a house that just caught on fire and I had to get permits because there ain't no way around it. All right. So yeah. So that's the proper thing to do. Plus, you want things to be safe. Like I'm building a brand new house from the ground up. I got every single thing permitted with licensed contractors for everything because it's a safety issue. If you're gonna be doing something that can potentially be dangerous, like to cause an electrical fire or to cause a structural breakdown that could kill somebody or something like that, just pay the extra money and do it right, man, because you don't want nobody to get hurt for any reason, or you just don't want that to happen. So that's the right answer to your question. But I've done rehabs without even checking because I'm just I'm ghetto like that sometimes, but everything ends up coming out right, and I get the permits where I need to get the permits. So so that's hopefully the real and true honest answer to your question. But I'm supposed to tell you to get the permits and get the licensed contractors where needed. All right. And that just depends on every state is different. They might allow you to do everything yourself in your state. And here's the other thing. Getting the permits is not hard to do. It's not hard. It's just paperwork. You just go downtown, tell them what you're trying to do, and they'll tell you what they need, and then you just do it. Like it's not that hard. It's not that expensive. It'll be like $150. So it's not rocket science. Ben Remy said, thanks for answering my question. If I'm looking into Florida, I should link up with Richard Fain because that's his thing. Yeah, Richard, I've been following Richard's channel from the beginning of his channel, and I talked to him on several occasions, and that's my guy. And I plan on definitely linking up with Richard Fain, and really getting into however we can partner, and the whole Florida market thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, so R. London said, can you talk a little bit about how credit plays a role in investing in real estate? Can a person with good credit but income of around 80,000 have more than one investment property? Yes. Can you have more than one investment property at the same time with 80,000? Yes, you definitely can. Absolutely. I'll tell you, like, I don't know if you've seen a video of my buddy. His name is John. We did a video in my Lamborghini, me and him. I'm the black guy, he's the white guy in the video, and I think it's like the thumbnail. And that dude, I mean, he might have made like 80,000 all the way up to 120 or something like that. And he had his day job and he had like 80 properties. So yes, you can do it. You just got to build relationships with banks. You got to keep your credit good. You got to show, like, based on your net worth, that you're making good financial moves, that you're not blowing all your money on frivolous stuff, that you have enough money to make payments. If your tenant can't make the payment, you can make it for a month or whatever. So you need to just have that kind of a track record. You need to be saving some money, have the good credit, get the first property, rent it out. Because once the property is rented out, the banks consider that as additional income. So you can start adding additional properties. So you absolutely can do that. How does credit play a role? Well, you need credit if you want to borrow money from anybody. And the better, here's the bottom line. The better your credit is, the more you can borrow. The better your credit is, the lower the interest rate on the money that you borrow. So it's very important that you maintain your credit and have your score as high as possible. But the other thing that you want to do to go along with your credit is maximize your income and your savings, so that when you go to a bank, they can look at you as a responsible person that they can lend money to. But the way credit plays into investing is, the better your credit, the lower your interest, and also the more money you can borrow and the more loans you can get. See what I'm saying? So it's pretty simple, it's pretty simple. But the tricky thing about credit, like the thing that affects me, is you got to work sometimes to keep your credit good. Like I have really good credit. Like I pay all my bills on time, pay stuff off early, everything you're supposed to do. But the problem that I've had on my credit is every time I get an inquiry, like when I buy a lot of cars. So every time I get a credit inquiry, even if I'm only going to make one payment, they do a hit on my credit. Like different banks will check my credit. So I might be buying one car, but 3 banks will check my credit and it lowers my credit score. So if you look at my credit score right now, I should probably be like a 780, but depending on what credit bureau you're looking at, it can range from 700 to 760, all because of the hits of banks looking at my credit, which I have to go fight to get those things wiped off my credit if I want my credit score to go up. But my relationship is so good with the banks that I go to get money from, that they already know what it is. Like they already can look at my credit and see the only reason it's not like perfect is because people check my credit. So I don't really have a problem. I don't worry about it for me personally, because I got a long, lengthy history of borrowing and paying for every single thing I've ever borrowed for, ever. I've never had like a charge off for anything. No bankruptcy, none of that. So I don't really have problems, even though my credit score is not like a 850 or even a 780, where it probably should be. Right, it should be an 850. But anyway, I have good relationships with the banks, because I've already borrowed like, hundreds of thousands and paid them back. And I got a business that produces a lot of income that's separate from my real estate investing, and they can see that too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like my credit, the more you get experience doing different things and the relationship you have, the less the credit is as important. But when you're first getting started, it's very important. There you go. This is a really good question that I like to talk about. Adam Larkin said, at what point could you personally justify purchasing a luxury vehicle from your investments? Let me turn on my light. That's a good question, because that's like the basis for my YouTube channel. And it's like the basis for my YouTube. Let me turn this light on. All right. So, at what point could I personally justify purchasing a luxury vehicle for my investments? So I'm gonna just be real blunt with you. I had a long time I was making money with my main business, and I could afford luxury vehicles and stuff, but I couldn't justify it because I didn't have any really good investments outside of my main company. So once I started investing in real estate, before I started thinking about buying cars or anything like that, I wanted to maximize as much real estate as I could possibly get because I knew for a fact that it was going to change my life, and I knew it was going to I knew millionaires were going to be were going to be made from the real estate opportunity when I started buying real estate. I knew that, so I was trying to get as much real estate as I possibly could, and I wasn't even thinking about buying luxury cars or Lambos or anything like that. So I didn't buy my first Lambo until 2016. So look at the timeline. I had some $1 million plus years with my business a long time ago, like 2006. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't buy a Lambo or anything close to $100,000 until 2016. So I have been grinding and maximizing and reinvesting into my business for forever. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until I got into the real estate in 2010, and then the market started to change around 2015 or so, maybe right around 2016. The market started to change, and I couldn't get as much real estate as I was getting before because the prices went up. But guess what? When the prices went up, I still had a lot of property. I still had like almost 30 properties. And then the price started going up, so I couldn't buy as much real estate. But I was looking at my portfolio grow double and triple. For all the money that I put into it, I was now my value on my real estate was crazy. So what did I do? I decided which properties I wanted to keep, and then I started flipping properties because the prices on the properties was higher now. So then I started flipping, and then I started having a healthy real estate portfolio where I felt like I could buy a Lambo or a car like that because my main business was still producing a lot of income. My real estate business started producing a lot of income, and I had some flips that were producing like a lot of income, tens of thousands of dollars on a flip at a time. So so I had a lot of income streams, that I never had before, and my life was starting to change. Um, and the other thing with the luxury car, like the Lambo type of thing, the other thing that I knew is if I spent money on something like that, it's not really like if it costs $100,000, you might tie that money up, but it's not going down the drain like a lot of people consider with any other type of car. With a car like that, you might buy it for 100, but you might sell it for 100, or you might sell it for 95, or you might sell it for 105, or you even might sell it for 90. So really, what you did is you bought an experience of ownership for $10,000 or for zero because you sold it for a profit or whatever it costs for you to maintain it. So really, I wasn't losing that much in my net worth. If you look at my portfolio, when I put in my net in all of my assets, them cars are part of my assets. So if my Lamborghini Huracan is worth 208,000, that's going on my balance sheet and my net worth. $208,000 towards my net worth. It's not like minus 208,000. You feel me? I just transferred the money from the bank to the car, and it's just sitting there. It might go down a little bit, but who knows? It might go up or stay the same. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I started being able to justify purchasing the really nice cars because like I got a lot of clients, you know what I'm saying? My businesses are healthy basically. And I had some investments finally. And the investments were working for me. My money was growing and spending money for me. So that's what happened, man. That's when I finally, but you look how many years it was. I started my side business in 1999. I quit my day job in 2004. I probably had my first $1 million business year in 2006. But I wasn't buying anything other than my own real estate, and reinvesting in my business. I didn't buy, and then so 2004 when I quit my job to 12 years later before I bought a Lamborghini. So it's not like I was just like, oh, I have made $1 million this year with my business, I'm gonna go buy a Lambo. It wasn't like that. I took all of the money and put it back into my business, except for probably I could live off of probably $65,000 a year or something like that for me personally. And I had to pay my team and my staff, you know what I'm saying? So like out of $1 million, I really probably only walked away with 300,000 or even less than that at the end of the year, because I was reinvesting all that money into my business, making like paying more people to be on my team, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? So, but then, I took that 300,000 though, and then I started buying that real estate, and that real estate bubbled up, it's a major come up. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. Long answer to a short question. Kevin Thomas said, when approaching a bank for an investment property loan, what are some of the things you need to make you look good to the bank? I go over this in my real estate course. It's called a personal financial statement, a PFS. And what you want is you want to have a positive net worth. You definitely don't want to have a negative net worth. You need to know how to calculate your net worth. You want to have assets, you want to have savings, and you want to have maximum income for your stage in life. That's it, man. The more assets you have, the more comfortable the bank will be, the higher your credit score, the longer your credit history, that kind of stuff. But it's called a PFS, and I have a free one that I give to everybody that's in the course. And I even do a video talking about how to fill it out. But it's basically your balance sheet, a personal financial statement. And then once you make that, man, you keep updating it every few months or so to see, like, it's like your financial report card. I also put a net worth video on my channel on Will Motivation, so check that out. All right, so let's see. One Rich said, have you ever read If You Cannot Wholesale After This, I Got Nothing For You by Todd Lang? No, I've never read that, but it sounds interesting. And I have never done wholesaling because I'm too greedy. Like if I find a good deal, I want the whole deal for myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to split and sell it to another investor. I want to develop it myself and make all of the money. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't do that, then wholesaling appears to be a good option. But I've never done it because, like I said, if I find a deal, from what I've learned, like if I look backwards, man, I would have bought more real estate when the prices were low, and I also probably would have held on to my flips. I sold probably $2 million worth of $2 or $3 million worth of real estate that I bought for less than $1 million. So I would have had in my net worth, I would have had an extra $2 or $3 million towards my net worth if I didn't flip those houses. I should have kept them point blank. But you always, it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? So you always can't predict the future either. So I still got 20 properties, but I would have had 10 more. Next question. How do I find contractors to do rehabs for a better price? How do you work that out? So that's another thing that's in my course. I go really in depth into that. There's a lot of different ways, but I'm gonna give you something in this free live stream, and that is, man, network with people and ask around. One contractor knows another. Like you might have somebody working on your flooring, and you can ask them for a carpenter, asking for references. And then I give people a shot with a small project, and if they do good, I'll give them a bigger project. So it's just networking, man. You name it, I've done it. Like you can find people online. You can post stuff. You can post little jobs on Craigslist and Facebook. But for me, word of mouth has been my number one thing. I'll ask my realtors, I'll ask my friends, and somebody always knows somebody else that does some type of contracting work. And you give them don't give them your big job though at the beginning. You're just working with them. Give them a small job, give them like a little piece of the job, and see how they do, and then slowly give them a little bit more. But that's all in the course because it's a lot. You can get burned dealing with contractors. So there's a lot of consideration. So like if you're thinking about that, man, like you might be ready to take the course. And if anybody doesn't know the URL to get the discount on the course, here it is: willmotivation.com/invest. You use that link, you'll automatically get the discount on the course. All right, next question. Ben Remy said, "You truly been a motivation to me. You're right. We bought our home in 2014 and it's appreciated over 100,000 the last 5 years." That's the story, man. And here's the thing though. Real estate values go up and down. So what you want to do is you want to buy a property so that if the value goes down below what you pay, you still can make money on it renting it out, right? So you can still make $400 or $500 a month renting it out. If you can't make $400 or $500 a month renting it out, then you should probably flip it when it's high, so you don't get underwater and then have to lose the house or something like that. So but real estate has been good to a lot of people. It's made a lot of people millionaires. Real estate made me a millionaire. And I'm just a regular guy. So like when I say I'm a millionaire, like I'm not like some guy sipping on wine and eating caviar. Like I'm just a regular dude that took out. Now my business, let's keep it real. The business that I built with hard work is worth more than all my real estate, because it makes more money than my real estate makes, and it has more value as a golden goose than my real estate portfolio. But that doesn't mean if I sold my company versus selling my real estate that the real estate wouldn't generate more. But I'm just saying. But real estate has made people millionaires by investing, man. A lot of people. So, it's a real true life story. Like I've never had $1 million sitting in the bank, but once I started buying real estate, I definitely got several $1 million worth of real estate right now. That if that I would not have had if I never just pulled the trigger and started investing. And so if I wanted to sell all my real estate, yeah, I would have several $1 million in the bank right now. But that doesn't even make sense though. Why would you even want to have millions of dollars in the bank? Because every penny you spend out of that bank account, or a lot of it, is going to be eating away at your balance, and your net worth is going to be shrinking instead of growing. You put your money into stuff like real estate and other investments that will grow your money, so that your $1 million turns into 1.5 million or 2 million later on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just a regular dude that paid attention and made some smart moves, and I work my ass off. That's probably the irregular thing about me. I have a crazy work ethic, and I'm not afraid to try things. But I'm trying to share that stuff with you guys so that you guys can realize that if I can do it, you can too. Next question. Let's see. Somebody asked if I was in Pennsylvania. I'm in Ohio. All right, let's see. Man, there's a bunch of questions in here. What type of investment property do I search for? One Rich said, pre-foreclosures or tax lien properties or distressed homes. I've gotten pre-foreclosures, I've gotten foreclosures, and I've gotten distressed homes, but not so much the distressed home. Like a lot of them are just distressed after the fact. Like most of them are distressed one way or another. Most of my homes were foreclosure homes, like repossessed homes got by the bank or by HUD. But I bought, that's just, most of my homes, that's what it's been. And when I started investing, there was a lot of them. You know, I didn't have that much competition. And then the things changed quick though. So when you see a good deal, you got to move fast. But you got to evaluate it and know it's a good deal. I haven't done any tax lien properties, but I do know people who have. But you know, investing in real estate is it takes time. So you gotta, if you're actively looking, you gotta take the time to go find that stuff. For me personally, I gotta decide what I spend my time on. And right now, I have a real estate portfolio, so I'm trying to make my portfolio stronger and stronger by maintaining my properties to increase the rent and that kind of thing. And if I see a deal, then I'll go get it. But I'm diversifying right now, so I'm not looking to buy a whole bunch more real estate unless I see a awesome deal. I'm looking to take my other money now, and invest in other things that can also generate income. But I'm very glad I have some real estate, and I'll buy more. You know what I'm saying? It's just timing. Let's see. What is the monthly profit I like to make on my rentals? I like to make no less than 400. When people only make $100 or 200 or even 300, I think that's risky because you can have a plumbing repair that could be thousands, and I mean all kind of water heaters going out, all kind of stuff. Plumbing is like the number one killer. So I like to make $400 or $500 a month profit minimum. All right, and that's my comfort zone. So because in 2 months you can make $1,000 and recoup some stuff. You know, if you had to pay for some expensive stuff. So that's what I like, $400 or $500 a month, or I probably won't do it. And on a flip, I like to make 20,000 minimum on a flip, because if something comes up, it could eat up $5,000 of my budget, some surprise. So I better be making something, or else I'm not doing a flip for no reason. So I like to make like 20,000 on a flip, or else you might as well be wholesaling if you're gonna make less than that. All right. Lewis Martin Jr. said, "I'm just here to say you've been a great source of knowledge since I found out about you through Autovlog. Value your wisdom and wish you many, many blessings." Thank you, bro. Same to you. And welcome. MP said, "Will I be doing a video of the rehab on my burned property?" Yeah. I'm dropping a video on it probably tomorrow. I got the video already done for the next stage that I'm at right now, and I'm just going to post it. Just stay tuned to both of my channels. I'll post it on this channel too. So yeah, right now we got drywall repaired. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be dropping videos on the rehab of the burned up property. Kevin Thomas said, "When a person buys your real estate course, do they receive a hard copy in book form, or is it just online?" Right now, it's just online because it's me talking through video. If you want a hard copy, I could think about how I could deliver that to you, like on DVDs or something. But then it gets out of control. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as you put something on DVD or hard copy, people can like start sending it out, and it becomes a different type of thing. But it's all digital, but you have access to it forever. You know, as long as Teachable stays online, you'll be able to get it, and I don't see them going nowhere. Chino Sherry said, "How much do I like to make from a flip?" 20 G's. Yep, that's what I like to make minimum. I also talk about that in the course as well, so you'll see that. Let's see. Let's see. Have I ever done 1031 exchange, 121 exclusion, or tax segregation? Nope, I don't think so. People have mentioned it to me before, but I like to keep stuff simple, and I like to have flexibility. I might do it in the future, but like I already have my stuff planned out long before I usually get to the point where I'm selling my property or doing something. I already know what I'm going to do. I usually know what my next steps are going to be, and it's usually not like, and plus there's certain things I don't like about the 1031 exchange. It's deferred taxes. It's not removing the taxes. So I don't really like deferring taxing because that means I still owe. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to owe anything. So I just look for ways to minimize my taxes by making sure I track my expenses and that kind of thing. But no, I haven't done those things. All right. Jermaine Robinson said, registered nurse is a great profession, great money, depends on your state, cost of living, but nonetheless, it's a great opportunity. Yeah, definitely anything in healthcare is good right now. And that's my main job is I help big companies recruit talent. Kevin Thomas said, do banks like to see that you have your investment properties in an LLC? Maybe, but I doubt that they care that much. I have, like I said, my buddy John, who's in my videos, has got mad 80 plus properties. He had all the properties in his name. So and he introduced me to his bank. So apparently they didn't have any problem with that. Brian Mims said, I appreciate you having these live streams and doing the channels and taking time out of life to educate and motivate people the way I do. This sort of information is rarely shared. Yeah, that's exactly why I do this, man. If I can help one person comes back to me and says, hey, Will, you said this and I went and did this and it really had a good effect on my life. I get a kick out of that. I feel like it was time well spent. And I do this for like the younger version of myself. So like, like the supercar stuff, the Lamborghini stuff, I can imagine myself as a kid wishing that I could watch a YouTube channel with a guy that is showing the experience of owning a car and doing different things, and then also showing how he was able to afford it so that I could have a path to get there. Because I didn't have anybody when I was growing up in the hood or whatever. My parents weren't really interested in money. My parents were both educated and they were in education. They didn't care so much about being rich and having nice cars and stuff. They didn't really care so much. So they didn't have my dad didn't tell me, step by step how to make $1 million. My mom definitely wasn't on any of that stuff. And then my uncles and aunts, I had a couple of uncles on my dad's side that I think were millionaires, but I don't even know because they never came and said, here, they never came and showed me. One of my uncles died too soon, to show anything, but I pretty much know how he became a millionaire. He became an oral surgeon. So, but I didn't want to be an oral surgeon. And then I had another uncle who was a cousin of my dad, and he was an entrepreneur. So I knew that much, that he was an entrepreneur, but nobody really knew if he was a millionaire or not. But what people said that, but he never came around and said, "Look, this is how you do it." So I had to learn myself, and so now I do this YouTube channel to try to give people ideas on what they can do to find their own path to success. And it's not even all about money and stuff. It's about just being able to do whatever you want to do and keep it positive. So I appreciate that comment, Brian. Brian said, I started flipping houses at the end of 2008 and stopped in 2014 when the market changed. But by simply watching your channels, you have remotivated me and thank you for being a blessing, Will. Hey, thank you for the comment. But Brian, I did the same thing. I didn't flip though. Now you can still flip. But I got in 2010 and then I slowed down in 2016. So I was 2 years behind you. But I didn't start flipping until the market did change. And I made a lot of money flipping. And I'm still doing, but see, the other thing that people forget and that I forget to mention sometimes is that I got a major investment project going on right now. And that is I am building a house from the ground up for the first time. So I'm not trying to buy a whole bunch of rehab properties because I don't know how much more money I got to put into this new build, and I'm financing the new build out of pocket. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and it has all of my attention from a real estate investment perspective. So that's my main project I got going on right now. And when it's done, I'm gonna go over all the numbers, and it's looking real pretty right now. It's looking definitely. It's the biggest. It's the biggest. It's the biggest money maker for me so far. Like I have probably 180,000 invested, and it's worth 300 plus. So that's over 100,000, over $120,000 in equity, and probably more once it's done. So that's going to be like my biggest come up, and I'm probably going to rent it out. To be honest, it's going to be a good money maker. All right. Hey, for everybody saying thanks for answering the questions, you're welcome. It's a Friday night, so everybody go enjoy their Friday night. And fitness tech. Let me ask you a question real quick. Can you sell parts of your land if the land is too big? Yes, but you got to get the land parcel. That's why they call lots of land, they call them parcels, because they're pieces of a bigger piece of land. So you got to get the land cut up into parcels, and you got to get it. You got to get a surveyor to go out there and do it how you want it, and then they submit that to the city, and you can get it parcel and cut up to a separate lot or a separate parcel, and then it gets taxed separately, and then you can sell it separately. That's to answer your question. Ruben Gregory, don't be hating on the Cowboys. Jump on the Cowboys bandwagon before it's too late. I got an extra ticket for you here, right here. You can get on the Cowboys bandwagon. It's your ticket. But yeah, man. Thanks for everybody joining this live stream. It's Friday night. It's 9:18. I got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I just met one of my subscribers for the second time. He came out from Maryland and he bought my mom's car. If you haven't seen the video I dropped on Will Motivation, where me and my brother, we bought my mom a new car. We bought her like a Mercedes C300. It's a car she wanted. And so one of my subscribers reached out to me and said, what are you doing with her old car? Does she want to sell it? And so my mom sold him her car, and he drove in from Maryland. So him and his girlfriend are here for the weekend. So they're going to hang out with me at a car show tomorrow. And I got another YouTuber who is also a subscriber to my channel. Is getting his channel off the ground. He's in town. He just got here in town. And they're also going to hang out with me tomorrow at the car show. And if in case you're in the Ohio area, it's a big car show. It's called Exotics on Scioto Mall. I'm definitely going to get some video, and it should be a really cool day tomorrow, man. I'm gonna have both the cars out, stuff like that. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go and enjoy your Friday, and fitness tech. Who can you sell it to? Who are the typical buyers? Usually, the typical buyers are investors that want to build a house on your lot, or it can be a homeowner that has a house that they want to build. They're just looking for the perfect location to build it. So it's usually those two type of people. All right, so everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or the next video that I drop. Peace. Thanks for joining.